You are the type of owner who notices everything about your dog. So when they lock onto an empty corner and refuse to look away, it unsettles you. Is something wrong? Are they seeing something you cannot? Stop brushing it off as quirky behavior. Their predatory senses are picking up invisible flickers and electrical hums that are blindingly bright to their specialized eyes. Today, we isolate those hidden signals to show you exactly what your dog is hunting in those corners. Most owners chalk it up to a weird habit. Maybe laugh it off, maybe Google, "Is my dog seeing ghosts?" But what's actually happening is far more fascinating than anything supernatural. Your dog is running ancient biological software in a modern environment, and once you understand the mechanics behind that stare, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Let us get into it. Here's where it all starts. Deep in your dog's evolutionary history, long before domestication, before dog beds and kibble and squeaky toys, their ancestors survived by hunting. And hunting isn't just about speed or strength. It's about attention. The ability to detect the smallest movement at the edge of vision, to distinguish a rustling leaf from a fleeing prey animal, to hold perfectly still and process a signal before committing to a chase. That hardwired system didn't disappear when dogs moved into our homes. It just found new targets. The predatory drive in dogs is not a behavior you can fully train away, and you shouldn't want to. It is a motivational system that runs at the neurological level. It involves a sequence that researchers often describe as the predatory motor pattern, which includes orient, eye, stalk, chase, grab, and dissect. Your dog doesn't need to complete the full sequence. Sometimes they just get stuck in the first phase: orient, lock, process. And that is exactly what you are watching when your dog stares into an empty room. They have oriented to a stimulus, and their brain is doing serious work. Now let us talk about why that corner specifically, and why it looks like nothing to you. Human vision is built for color and detail. We're daylight creatures. Our eyes have a high density of cone cells, which give us rich color perception, but we sacrifice something for that. We sacrifice motion sensitivity, especially in low-contrast environments and peripheral zones. Your dog's eyes are wired almost in reverse. They have a higher proportion of rod cells, which are incredibly sensitive to movement and work efficiently in dim light. They also have something called the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina that bounces light back through the eye a second time. That's what makes their eyes glow in photos. But more importantly, it amplifies faint light signals. So a small shadow shift, a barely flickering LED light on a power strip, the vibration of an air vent creating micro-movement in a dust particle, these are not subtle to your dog. They are loud. And then there's the trance. You've seen it. Your dog goes completely still, body slightly lowered, eyes locked, ears forward or slightly rotated. They look almost frozen. People call it creepy. Owners sometimes wave their hand in front of the dog's face, wondering if they are okay. But here's what nobody tells you about that state. It is not a malfunction. It is peak cognitive engagement. Your dog is not zoned out. They are zoned in. The trance is a deliberate suppression of physical output so that sensory input can be fully processed. They are asking one very specific question: threat or prey. That question demands full attention, and the answer determines everything that happens next. A potential threat triggers a different response chain than a potential prey item. The trance is the pause before the verdict. This is also why the stare can last so long. If the stimulus is ambiguous, meaning it moves slightly and then stops, or it produces a sound that cuts in and out, your dog's brain stays in the evaluation loop. They're waiting for more data. This is not anxiety by default. It becomes anxiety only when the stimulus is persistent, unpredictable, and your dog has no way to resolve it. A flickering light that never stabilizes gives your dog a signal that never resolves. That's when the stare tips into stress. So what does this mean for how you set up your home? This is the part most dog content completely skips over, and it matters more than people realize. Your home is not a neutral environment for your dog's senses. It is full of signals. Some of them are interesting, some of them are stressful, and a lot of them are invisible to you. Start with light. Fluorescent lights and certain LED bulbs flicker at frequencies that humans cannot consciously detect but dogs can. Studies on flicker fusion rates, the speed at which a flickering light appears steady, show that dogs have a higher threshold than humans. What looks like a solid, steady light to you may look like a rapid strobe to your dog. If your dog consistently stares at a lamp or a particular ceiling area, consider swapping to a higher quality LED with a stable, flicker-free rating. This is a small change that can meaningfully reduce low-level sensory noise in your dog's environment. Next, sound. Dogs hear in a range that extends well beyond human capacity, both in frequency and sensitivity. That hum coming from your refrigerator compressor, the ultrasonic frequency from a television on standby, the ticking of pipes behind a wall, these are all present and detectable. When your dog stares at a wall with nothing on it, there's a reasonable chance something is behind that wall making a sound that you simply cannot hear. This is not a cause for alarm in most cases, but it is a reason to take your dog's stare seriously as information, not oddness. Then there's the question of movement. Shadows cast by passing cars, the micro-vibration of a window in wind, a curtain shifting from an air vent. Your dog's visual system will flag all of these. If certain areas of your home consistently trigger the stare, look at what light sources are near that zone and what might be causing intermittent movement or shadow shifts. Sometimes simply repositioning a lamp or closing a vent redirects the whole pattern. Finally, and this is the piece that connects everything back to your relationship with your dog, when your dog enters the trance, your response matters. Calling them away abruptly or physically moving them before they've resolved the stimulus can actually build frustration over time. Instead, let them finish the assessment. Give them a moment to reach their own conclusion. Then, if you want to redirect, use a calm, clear cue to bring them back to you. What you are communicating is that you respect their process, and you are a safe anchor when the signal doesn't resolve cleanly. That's not just good training, that's trust. If this gave you a new way of seeing what your dog is actually doing in those quiet moments, take one thing from today and look at your home through their eyes. Check your lights, listen for the hums, notice the movement patterns in your space. Your dog is telling you something every time they stare. Now you have the tools to actually hear it. Start with one room. You might be surprised by what you find. Thanks for watching. If you loved this video, scan the QR code on the screen right now to subscribe and join the Pawsome Life family. Give your dog a belly rub for us, and we will see you in the next video.